Welcome to my latest 2023 NFL preview. Today I am breaking down the Pittsburgh Steelers. Here's how my previews work. I start off with 3 things I like about the Steelers, followed by 3 things I don't like. Then I break down the schedule, go over the yearly win total odds, and at the end I review if I am putting action down on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's kick this off with the first thing I like about the Pittsburgh Steelers. The first thing I like about the Pittsburgh Steelers is head coach Mike Tomlin. In his 16 years as an NFL head coach, he has never had a losing season. Andy Reid and Bill Belichick have had losing seasons, but not Tomlin. Tomlin is one of the greatest coaches in NFL history and one of the best in the NFL today. Once he retires, he will walk into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. One of Mike Tomlin's greatest achievements was finishing the 2022 season 6-1. When I try to figure out how a team will do going into the season, the first thing I look at is how they finished the previous season. With a rookie quarterback wide receiver combo and TJ Watt returning the last half of the season, the Steelers defense didn't give up more than 17 points in any of the final 7 games of the season. That's almost steel curtain impressive. With tons of youth on offense and a dominant last half of the season on defense, the Steelers look downright scary going into 2023. The third thing I like about the Steelers is their draft. It started halfway through the 2022 season when the Steelers traded Chase Claypool to the Chicago Bears. The Steelers used that draft pick to draft Joey Porter Jr., one of my major draft crushes, and we all remember his dad. But on offense, the Steelers hit pay dirt with Broderick Jones and Darnell Thompson. Jones will start day 1 on the offensive line, and Thompson will play quite a bit in 2 and 3 tight end sets. Both will help open up running lanes for Najee Harris and help now second-year quarterback Kenny Pickett. On defense, I already mentioned Porter, but Benton is perfect for Pittsburgh. This is a powerful interior presence that will help Watt and Highsmith on the outside get one-on-one matchups from the offensive line of opposing teams. This draft alone instantly improves the Steelers on both sides of the ball. To recap the 3 things I like about the Steelers: Mike Tomlin, an all-time great head coach, a 6-1 finish to 2022, and an excellent draft. Before I go over the 3 things I don't like about the Steelers, make sure you smash that like button. And if this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button. Join the growing community of football junkies of all 32 teams. Now, 3 things I don't like about Pittsburgh Steelers. The first thing I don't like about the Steelers is that they play the brutal AFC North. Last year, both Baltimore and Cincinnati went to the playoffs, and Cleveland should be much improved in 2023. I can make a very strong case that the AFC North is the toughest division in all of football. The second thing I don't like about Pittsburgh is that they haven't been the same since the big 3 of Big Ben, Le'Veon Bell, and Antonio Brown split up. The last time these 3 played together was 2017, and since then, Pittsburgh's only returned to the playoffs twice and lost both wildcard games. 2 wildcard losses in 5 years might not be bad for some franchises, but it is for Pittsburgh. You have to question if the Steelers are still the same franchise or if the game has passed Tomlin by. Many Hall of Fame coaches did not end their career in the best way. Bill Cowher in his final season was 8-8, and Chuck Noll was 7-9. I thought after the 2017 season, when Bell ended up holding out, that's when these 3 split up, the Steelers would regress but bounce back. 5 years later, the Steelers have nothing better than 2 wildcard losses to show for it. The third thing I don't like about the Steelers is their inside linebacker position. Going into 2022, I thought the Myles Jack Devin Bush combo was going to be one of the best in all of football. Myles Jack signed a 2-year, $16 million deal, but was released after just 1 season. Devin Bush was someone the Steelers traded a first, second, and third round pick. Now, the third round pick was for the following season, but it's a lot of draft capital for a player who didn't pan out. Robert Spillane started late in the season at the inside linebacker position, and he played really well, but he is also gone via free agency. The top 3 inside linebackers from the 2022 team are gone, and these are 3 of the 4 top tacklers on the team, and Myles Jack led the Steelers in tackles last season. For a team relying on their defense, losing 3 of your top 4 tacklers from the previous season has to be a red flag going into 2023. To recap the 3 things I don't like about the Steelers, they are in the very tough AFC North, how they've handled the split up of the big 3, and the inside linebacker position, which means losing 3 out of your 4 leading tacklers from last season. Now let's go over the yearly win total odds. odds and break down the Steelers schedule. I found both 8.5 and 9 wins, and depending on what sportsbook you use, you'll see either 8.5 or 9. If you don't understand yearly win total odds, you can check out my tutorial video here on how to bet yearly win totals. If you like the over, the number for 8.5 is really bad, and I did find Caesars at 9, which is at -115. That's a solid number. It's not great, but it's decent. When we look at the Steelers schedule, I'm going to try to break it down and see if we can get to 9 wins. The first 2 games are at home, then you have 2 very winnable road games before you host Baltimore week 5. They have an early bye week 6, then they travel to LA to play the Rams for a 3-game home stretch. I could easily see the Steelers after week 10 at 7-2 before they have 2 consecutive road divisional games. The Steelers, after 2 divisional road games, play 3 out of the next 4 at home. Now, they do end the season with 2 road games, and at the final game of the season at Baltimore could be for the divisional crown. Overall, this is an extremely favorable schedule, and I do see a fast 7-2 start. I don't see Tomlin getting a losing season this time. In fact, I see a minimum of 10 wins, and that is my play, taking the over for the Steelers wins. Now, you take over 8.5 or 9, that's up to you, but I feel confident enough to take over 9 wins and feel really good about the bet. In my opinion, betting the overs for the Steelers wins is one of the best plays you can make for the 2023 season. Now, am I right or am I wrong? Drop a comment below and let me know what you think, and let's talk football. The playlist for all 32 NFL teams is listed here, and tomorrow I break down the Cleveland Browns, so I look forward to seeing you back tomorrow.